All right, we're live. So welcome again to the Health and Government Operations Committee. It is Saturday. It is a day before signing die, but we have a very important bill that just came out of rule. It went to the Senate, and it is Senate Bill 974. Actually, we have the House sponsor here, House Bill 1301, which is Delegate Crosby, state-owned nursing homes deficiencies, citations and fines, contractor reporting requirements. Good afternoon, Delegate Crosby. Will you be so kind and tell us what the bill does and why do we need to pass this bill?
Move favorable. Thank you, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair. Colleagues, for the record, Delegate Brian Crosby here to present House Bill 1301. This bill is in direct response to the reported abuse and neglected experience of our veterans and their spouses at Charlotte Homes Veteran Hall in St. Mary's County, which at the present time is the state's only state-owned nursing home. And the bill simply requires that when a state-owned contract or operated nursing home receives a deficiency report or is subject to an enforcement action by a monitoring agency, that contractor has 30 days to provide notice to the governor, the state agency overseeing the nursing home, the House Health and Government Operations Committee, and the Senate Finance Committee, as well as the members of the Maryland General Assembly who represent the nursing home district. So that is the bill in its entirety, and I ask for a favorable report.
Thank you. Can you tell us, before I get into questions, why do we need the bill, Delegate?
So over the past, what now we believe to be 5 years, we had no notification that there were certain instances of abuse and neglect at the nursing home, and nobody was aware. And so when the administration transitioned over, they were handed essentially a binder of all the instances and kind of fell in on it. And so this would allow more than just a certain individual or one part of the administration to have notification. It would give a whole group of stakeholders the information. That way there's more parties with a vested stake to correct the action before it becomes repeated actions of abuse or neglect.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to open it up for questions now. Anyone? Delegate Taveras.
And I'm sorry because, okay, I'm just trying to find out, were those individuals removed, persecuted, or?
Well, I don't know if they were prosecuted.
Prosecuted, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, it is Easter.
Sorry. That's a Freudian slip, sorry.
It's okay. We knew what she meant.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the governor had his announcement that he was going to cancel the contract on June 5th. The RFP for a new contract is out, and I am not aware of any prosecutions against any of the individuals. However, administrative action was taken in many instances.
Okay. Vice Chair Collison.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Delegate, thank you for the bill. I have a question. So this bill is mostly about reporting deficiencies to the appropriate to additional bodies, but it doesn't speak at all to, or how does it link with other parts of statute that require action on the part of the folks who are actually, being found deficient?
It doesn't change anything on the action front of it. It's just simply making other stakeholders aware so that appropriate action can be taken. And that way more people are on notice, more people are involved in the process, and that way more people can push for the appropriate action to be taken.
Yes.
Do you know whether or not these state-owned homes fall under the Office of Healthcare Quality?
I do not know that answer.
I'm wondering, Council, do you know?
1 second.
So the Office of Healthcare Quality generally makes an unannounced site visit and conducts a full survey of each licensed nursing home at least once per year.
So
it would fall.
So the question is, yes, if we look at the fiscal note, page 2, where Lisa just read from, it says OHCQ generally makes an unannounced site visit and conducts a full survey of licensed nursing home at least once per year. As Lisa said, after a nursing home complaint alleging actual harm, the OHCQ must initiate an investigation within 10 days of business days, if Maryland Department of Health receives a complaint alleging immediate jeopardy to a resident, it must make every effort to investigate the complaint within 24 hours and no later than 48 hours after receiving the complaint. So that's what, that this bill does not change that law at all, the actions.
So basically, it wasn't happening.
It was not happening.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah. And this bill, if I may, would allow others to become aware of it so that someone can report it. Okay. I have, all right. Johnson, followed by Morgan, followed by Bandari. Go ahead.
Thank you,
Sorry.
Madam Chair. Thank you, Delegate, for bringing the bill, because this is really important that we make sure we're taking care of our seniors. So was this bill is more about transparency, so everybody knows what's going on. So these inspections, were they being done and not handed over to the Department of Health, do you know? Or were they just not being done at all?
There were multiple citations and deficiencies noted, and I think the Department of Veterans had them, and, Secretary Owens, I don't know all of the actions that he tried to take to rectify it, but by the time he transitioned off, nothing was rectified and nobody else but him seemed to be aware. And so now we're in this position. So all we're trying to do is have more people included in the process so that way more people can bring up notification and try to push for change. That's it.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
All right, I have, what was it, Delegate Morgan and then Bandari.
Thank you for the bill, Delegate. I mean, we all want Charlotte Hall to be taken care of, and I agree. Charlotte Hall is only about 10 miles from my house, and we had no idea any of these abuses. But I really don't have a question. I think the bill is really good, considering the timing of the session and everything. Is just more of a statement to piggyback on what the vice chair said. Since COVID happened, I mean, family members are just not going to the nursing homes like they used to pre-COVID. And it's really the family members that complain and generate some of these complaints. And just, while I realize we have this problem in Charlotte Hall, we do have a problem across the entire state. I mean, I looked it up. We have 58 nursing homes that are rated 1 star in the state, with 13 of them with prior abuses. So maybe we need to follow it up next year with some type of bill similar to this bill to cover all nursing homes, just to make sure our seniors are safe.
We agree. I have Delegate Bandari. All right, thank you, Delegate. Any other concerns or questions for the delegate? Delegate, I would assume that the testimony is the same for the Senate bill, correct?
It is, Madam Chair.
And will you feel comfortable providing the same testimony you just did for the companion Senate bill?
Yes, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. So that is, for the record, Senate Bill 974, and we will consider both testimonies applied for House Bill 1301 and Senate Bill 974, which is Senator Bailey. All right? Any other questions for the bill? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right? For the committee, we're going to vote on this bill. We need a new link, Zoom link, so if you could just hold tightly for 1 minute, okay? Thank you. And this actually concludes the bill hearing on House Bill 1301 and Senate Bill 974. Yes, Delegate Olston. Not- But what it does is that it provides notice. What he says was that the person that had the notice was the State Department.